Live, local. This is Good Day Oregon Plus.
Hello, everyone. This is Good Day Oregon Plus. Thanks for joining us. There is a live look at our Shriners camp there of downtown Portland. It looks nice and calm right now. Looks, for this moment, nice and calm. No, I don't even see any rain coming down. Yeah, not too bad. But that could be changing soon? Question mark?
Yeah, maybe 24 hours.
Maybe 24 hours. Hello, as we mentioned, this is Good Day Oregon Plus. We live stream here right after Good Day Oregon every weekday at 11 a.m. I'm Greg Nibbler, joined by Payton Major, and we are talking about that. What's right there on your screen? First alert weather day for Wednesday. Still on.
Yes, and it's Christmas Eve, Greg.
Christmas Eve on top of that.
Yeah, what is Mother Nature doing to us?
Right? I mean, the timing, and it's not going to be like a white Christmas. It's not that kind of thing.
No. We're not even talking rain here. We're talking wind.
Just wind, which is nuts. So this is, let me see here. There we go. I've got that pulled up. So potential strong wind as evidenced by that perfect graphic that you have going behind there.
Yes, and usually 24 hours before an event, you wouldn't even see that word possible. But there's a lot of weight to that possible word there. And we're keeping it on this graphic for a very specific reason. So we're going to get to that. First, let's look at our storm right now. I mean, it's pretty. But it's dangerous. So this is off the coast of California, just in the last couple hours, the loop there. It hasn't even really hit California, maybe a little bit of rain there north of San Fran. But I was looking at the wind, and you could see offshore. I mean, every time you see those pink colors, that's usually indicative of 50, 60 mile an hour gusts. And so, again, hasn't quite hit California, but this thing moves fast. So this, excuse me, I should say new this evening, new this morning. We have that first alert weather day. So strong wind possible. Again, that possible word is there. We're talking a little bit of a different timing than maybe when you joined us yesterday. This thing is slowed down only slightly, and we're talking maybe midday Wednesday rather than the early morning. I think previously we talked yesterday, Greg, probably said 8 a.m. or 9 a.m.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
This is more 10, 11, 12, 1 kind of time frame. So yeah, this thing flies through. And what's really funny, Mark and I were talking about this yesterday, it looks nice and sunny after this thing passes through. So no concerns once it's gone. It's just right when it passes by. Okay, so gusts 40 to 55 miles per hour. That could also have an asterisk because we're looking at a lot of different models here. I'm going to show you the kind of scarier looking model first so we can see the worst case scenario. This is 9 a.m. Notice no wind besides an east wind. It's coming from the east, maybe 30, 40 mile an hour gusts. But you're going to notice the difference right there. Okay, there's 11 a.m. Salem starting to get really gusty. This thing flies north, and that's when we start to see, higher gusts, even Newburgh into Woodburn. And then once that thing flies through, again, there's just no wind beyond that. There's still some disagreement between our reliable models, and I'm going to show you the two scenarios here. Mark made this yesterday. He likes the drama, okay? So there's going to be a lot of red. Okay, so the danger zone, basically about 250 miles from the beach to offshore. We don't want to see lows there. We don't want to see a storm because when that happens and it moves in that little 250-mile box there, we can see some pretty good windstorms. And I'm going to show you our historic ones as well. But I'm going to show you two scenarios first. So this is scenario one and the not so great scenario. That low that we saw earlier moves up the coast and we get this real strong south wind in the valley Wednesday midday. And that would cause the scary numbers you just saw, the 50, maybe even 60 mile per hour gusts, widespread damage and outages. Watch the second scenario. Oh, there we go. It's just slightly to the east. I mean, we're talking maybe 150 miles there. Yeah. Just a tiny bit to the east. And that would create a whole opposite scenario. No wind, maybe a little light southerly breeze, and Christmas has no issues. So funny how that works, right? That is, so really just it could veer either one of those. Yes. And we still don't know. And we still don't know. And this is may make a couple of you scared, but I don't want you to feel scared, but just know our two historic major windstorms in the last 100 years have followed that first scenario's path, give or take. Very, very strong system. December 12th, we had one in 1995, and then the Columbus Day storm in 1962 in October. So here's our two reliable models. I had one of our viewers say, hey, which one's more reliable? And I said, It just depends. This one on the left is only updates itself, or I guess only goes 3 days in advance, so we can't even see what happens beyond that. The European model, it actually goes to 7 days. So usually it's a little bit more long term, but right now we're so close to the event, they should be in agreement. I don't think in my career I've ever seen two more opposite forecasts this short before an event.
I was going to ask that, yeah, because it seems like usually every time, you all have talked, it's like within 24 hours, it's like, okay, we have a pretty good idea, may change in like slightly, but yeah, this is two very different scenarios.
So different, and yeah, Greg, even it's within 48 hours, we usually at least have a decent idea, but this is so polar opposite, and we're talking either 60+ mile an hour gusts in the Central Valley versus 20, which is nothing. And this is the latest model run. We actually just got a European model run about an hour and a half ago, and it's still showing that, which was shocking to us as well. So the National Weather Service is kind of going middle ground, and I understand why they're doing this, right? Because we still are unsure. So they've issued the wind advisory saying, hey, heads up, this could happen 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. tomorrow, pretty much everywhere west of the Cascades. South wind 10 to 25 miles per hour. That's sustained. And then gusts 55 miles per hour. I made this graphic because, again, it's very general, and I still have that word could kind of like possible in there because things could change very quickly. But I listed some of our major cities and towns here that you may reside in. At 9 to 11 a.m., we're looking at Eugene, Albany, Corvallis. 10 to noon, Salem, Woodburn, Silverton, Wilsonville. These are wind arrival times, by the way. 11 a.m. to 1, that's more the Portland metro area. It includes Hillsborough, Troutdale, even as far east as Sandy, and then north to Battleground and Kelso. It won't be as strong, but still there. So potential impacts still remain the same. We're watching for downed trees, power outages, and then, of course, your holiday decorations, which I have to put on there because it is Christmas
true. Yeah,
Eve.
There's a lot of people that have those out there.
Yeah,
those blow-up ones in their front yard.
And they're expensive. There's a lot of work put into that, so I just want to make sure you know that you're going to want to secure all those inflatables, or even just take them down. Take them down maybe just for tonight. Hopefully you can have them back up for Christmas Day. But it's just for the best. You don't want those flying around, especially if they're on your roof. Right. They are guaranteed to end up somewhere else you probably don't want them to go. I also have a piece of advice. If you live in a foresty area tonight, try to maybe avoid a tree nearby, like at least parking near a tree if you have the day off.
Right.
A lot of people probably have Christmas Eve off, and maybe you'll, forget about the windstorm. All of a sudden, noon rolls around, and a tree could easily fall in your vehicle, and you do not want that. I also highly encourage not parking in a garage unless you have a manual way to open it. Because my dad ran into this last week. He lost power, and his car was stuck in his garage. So
I didn't even think about that.
Some things to consider. I know it's tough because we live in Oregon, and there's a lot of trees everywhere, but some things to consider in the next few hours. Couple plugs here. You're probably watching this on our streaming app, but we also have a Fox 12 weather app, and this is going to be an amazing resource, not only because it's a very local forecast, humans edit it, we make sure you get the most accurate, reliable information, but on top of that, we have videos we post all throughout the day, Greg. We have push notifications. You'll get alerts if another wind advisory or warning is issued, and we'll be keeping you posted as this event unfolds. Another thing, since you already are on the streaming app, this is very easy to do. Clear your schedule for 7 o'clock tonight because we'll have Mark and Camilla at our First Alert Weather Extra show. So this is a deep dive, kind of like we're doing now, but with one extra meteorologist into what's going to happen. And this will be very crucial because by then we'll have 2 more model runs to look at.
Okay.
And who knows what they'll show because, again, it's just so back and forth.
Can I ask, what is it about this that's making it so hard for them to model it?
I just think it's the speed. When something moves so fast, it's kind of like when maybe you are going fast yourself for a car. It's harder to control, right?
Yep.
And so when this thing goes so fast, it's really hard for models to understand where it's going to go once it hits Oregon.
Gotcha.
That European model that we saw, let me go back to it real quick. Sorry, don't mind my graphic little run through here. Okay, that European model that you're seeing on the right shows it almost breaking apart when it hits Oregon. Basically, it releases all of its energy in California. By the time it gets to us, we'll just see some breeze in the higher elevations of the Cascades. But the graph model shows it's going to hold its shape. It's going to hold all that energy, go right up the coast, and then bring us some gusty winds. So that's kind of the two differences. And again, Greg, it's so minuscule, but so major at the same time.
Right, such a huge difference between those two. But that makes sense. Yeah, it's just going so fast, you know, and there's so many factors, I suppose, that come into it.
Definitely. Let's talk about Christmas, because we need some good news, right?
Yes.
I feel like that's what everyone's eyeing now. Okay, so clouds, we saw this earlier. This is basically what most of the day is going to look like, Greg. Just cloudy, dreary.
Typical
December day.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's going to rain for a while, so that's good. We'll hold off on the rain until probably after sunset. Go through the zones real quick. Coast, there's some isolated little sprinkles I've seen today, nothing crazy. You may run into it if you're on the beach, but valleys, few AM showers have pretty much gone. We're just dry this afternoon. It will feel a little cooler. We got an east wind building tonight, so if you're on the east metro or the west side of the gorge, pretty gusty. We're talking late tonight, probably 9, 10, even past midnight. Mount Hood, flurries at times, but it's just not very snowy up there. And we'll talk about what the next 7 days looks like there real quick. Light rain and mountain snow for eastern Oregon. Okay, so I'm going to show that low again. Well, this is tonight. Tonight we have a really weak front coming through. It's not going to be as wet as yesterday, and just some showers probably till midnight. Wednesday morning, just some clouds, little east wind, and then there's that system. This is, again, that graph model I showed you. That was the left side of your screen. So it's going to look a little more intense. By 3 o'clock, we're pretty much under sunny skies. Forecast rain all the way through Christmas. Nothing really. I mean, this is, especially in December, when it's our wettest month of the year, we usually get maybe sometimes a half an inch a day. So to have a 3 or 4 day forecast now where we only get half an inch in Portland.
Over all that time?
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Yeah.
Christmas Day, a few showers. We actually boosted temperatures a bit. So low 50s, that'll be nice. I mean, it's just a few degrees warmer than today, but
yeah.
But it makes a difference. A little east wind, but nothing compared to Wednesday. Here's our next 7 days, and you're going to notice a big difference beyond Christmas Day. We're pretty much dry next weekend. Likely dry on Saturday, I think Friday, just a few showers, but it'll be a little cooler in the morning and maybe slightly cooler in the afternoon, but we just don't really see much moisture around. And so real quick, the first alert weather day for tomorrow, just a gusty wind, 40 to 45 miles an hour, light rain. I know that we've gotten some questions about, wait, are we going to have a flood threat again? Nope, this is not going to bring any flooding, which is good. If we had that double whammy, I think it'd be very stressful. So yeah, power outages, down trees, those are the things we want you to plan for. And I mentioned this on the noon yesterday, Greg, but we are hoping for the best. We would love for that European model to be right. To not have anything.
Just have a breakup and...
Yes, we'd love for the wind to just be a little southerly breeze, no issues to impact your Christmas, but we have to plan for the worst. We want you to know that this is still a potential, and so that way you can, make those precautions, those plans with your family. With
so many factors in this and being so hard to model out, like how soon before it will you actually know? Or is that hard to answer?
Well, I mean, we should know now. That's the thing. We get models in the early afternoon. We'll get new models. So I think the 4 o'clock show will be very key to see what happened then while we're all at lunch. And I think another model comes in right before the 7 o'clock. So that streaming show I mentioned, again, will be very key. So those are the 2 time frames. And we already had our morning runs, and we were hoping they would all be in agreement magically, but they weren't. And so now we are eyeing those early afternoon and then late evening runs, hoping that they come together. They agree.
So mark your calendar for 7 p.m.
Yes.
Yeah, for that streaming show. So
that'll be very significant. Yes.
All right. Wow.
I know. Greg, as meteorologists, we want to make sure you know everything, but it's also like, I just want to be honest and say it is frustrating that we're 24 hours before the event. I mean, I'm probably just as frustrated as all you guys are. We want to know what's going to happen. And so, yeah, thank you for being patient. Just know we're going to keep you posted on our app.
Well, I appreciate the honesty of, hey, it's,
we're not going to sugarcoat it, that's for sure.
Yeah. So be prepared, though, for those, potential power outages, as you say right there, down trees, all that stuff. Especially with some wet ground already there,
Yep, that causes some issues.
Better to prepare for it and make sure that, your inflatable reindeer isn't flying off into the neighbor's yard or wherever it goes. So take that down also.
Please.
But yeah, all right.
Yeah,
so we'll find out more. Payton, thank you for letting us know, what we know and what we don't know.
What we don't know.
And what we don't know. One quick question. So that, that you showed that storm coming from California. Is that part of what's bringing all that rain to California?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So we kind of dodged the rain with the system. It's still's got that tight little low there that could cause wind.
Okay. All right. Well, I do have some news too on the California side of things because I know a lot of people are traveling, for the holidays. I've got family coming from California, so I'm going to California, and so we'll get you up to date on that and a lot more here throughout the hour. This is Good Day Oregon Plus. So if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, you'll see this segment end, but we are streaming on the apps and on our website. So good time to download that, the Fox 12 Weather app and the Fox 12 Oregon app. Get both of them. You get all the notifications that you need and all the other things that we have here. And we'll be going all the way till our noon news, and then you can stream that also. So lots of options. But Payton, thank you for your time on this. We'll take a quick break, and then we'll come back and continue on with that. We'll talk about California just a little bit to let you know what's going on down there and the other stories that we're covering here. And that's coming up right after this. I'm Greg Nibbler. This is Good Day Oregon Plus.